You ready, babe?
I'm ready.
Overcast day.
Supposed to rain tomorrow.
Oh, they're having some issues there with their Denali. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, not today.
Next week.
Well, it looks like it's going to rain today. Got a vehicle coming here. All right. How's the temperature in here, babe?
Good.
Good. Okay.
Let me see. No, it's supposed to rain tomorrow. Just cloudy today.
Interesting. It looks like it's about to open up any second.
I hope not. I just need to road today.
That snowman finally melted.
Uh-huh.
Did you see it? It was huge. I was reading something. So the snow that we got fit right in with our timeline, right? What was I saying? Every 5 to 7 years, something like that, we get snow. And I think our last snow was 6 years ago, 2019.
I think right after Harvey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Harvey was 2017. I think it was like a year and a half after Harvey.
Yep.
So yeah, right in that timeline, 6 years. But the big difference was this was the largest snowfall we've gotten in the Houston area in 60 years. Yeah. So like, as long as I've, been in Southeast Texas, which is nearly all my life, that's the most snow that's ever hit here in that time. Now, granted, I've seen more snow than that, obviously, being elsewhere, but like, being it, like literally, we got more snow. The last time we got as much snow in Southeast Texas as we got 3 days ago was in 1965. And I wasn't even born yet. I wasn't born yet, baby.
You weren't born.
I wouldn't burn.
I hope my plant survived.
Babe, your plants can't survive great weather.
That's because
thank God you and I aren't farmers, that it's not 150 years ago and the only thing you can do is farm, because we would be SOL.
You know what? I was on a good track with my gardening in the front, and I said, hey, remember when I left for a week? I said, hey, make sure you water my garden.
You said hey to who?
You. And you're like, okay, when I came back, they were all dead.
I don't recall ever getting those directions from you to water your plant.
I said, don't forget to water my plant. You're like, okay. My tomatoes were growing. At least the vines were growing. Then they just died.
Are you talking about the stuff out in the front?
Yeah, that's my garden.
Whatever happened? You had
Can't do it in the back. Scooby jumps too high.
Yeah, and he'll rip everything up.
Yes.
Well, I don't recall. I neither confirm nor deny. I plead the fifth on that one. I do not recall. Senator, I do not recall getting those directions. But anyway, yeah. Thank goodness the two of us don't have to eke out a living based on our farming abilities.
I was going to try.
Oh, jeez. Louise, come on, baby.
I was going to try.
You can't keep 3 tomato stalks alive. You want to do them.
And a jalapeno.
And jalapenos are tough, man. You can almost stomp on them and they'll still grow. Well,
I'm hoping my chili plant grows back.
Those were actually good peppers too.
I know.
Did your dad start those?
No,
And you just continued it,
I
or
bought
you did
an
it yourself?
ATV and I put it in a pot, and he took it out of the pot, and I think he planted it.
Yeah. Now your dad, he could grow stuff.
Yeah.
He had a green thumb.
Yeah.
He had those skills. But yeah, and those peppers were good. They're actually good. I don't think did I ever eat any of the tomatoes? Did you ever put those?
They never.
They never. Yeah. See, so we would be surviving on jalapeno peppers. Great. Or actually, those weren't jalapeno peppers. Those were.
I even attempted to grow cucumbers. The vines just did not make. I think I got to till the front.
Yeah. Well, you got to till. That's part, babe. That's farming 101.
I'm not a gardener. I don't know these things. I have to read about this. Actually, I'm gonna YouTube it.
Because that's, you know what? When folks were heading out west and staking their claims, that's what they did. How do I till and farm this land? Well, let me go on YouTube.
Hey,
to do it.
That's the. Well, what was that?
I'm obviously joking there. That is one that you can pretty much YouTube, or what I like to do. You're not on it, but like there's this thing called Grok that's like an LLM, large language, and you can just literally learn anything nowadays. Anything. Like it can make the biggest idiot in the world, and I come close to understanding just about anything. Anyway, go ahead, babe.
What's that, back in the days in English, right? When you have the book and then there's a cheat version of the book.
Oh, Cliff Notes.
Yes. So YouTube is like modern day Cliff Notes.
Yeah, except you don't even have to read. You had to read the Cliff Notes.
Yes.
Like you literally had to do some reading of the Cliff Notes. YouTube, all you really got to do is block everything else out for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just try to concentrate. See, that's the issue though, is even concentrating on one thing nowadays is tough for most people, right? Like when you're watching your Netflix show, when are you actually just sitting there absorbed in your Netflix show versus doing 18 other things at the same time?
When something interesting pops up, or action or whatever, and then I have to press rewind, pause everything else for 5 minutes,
and then watch that part, and then the rest of it you just kind of have going on in the back, so you kind of loosely
visualize it.
No, I got you.
Listening to it,
right? So it's like you're not completely absorbed in everything, but you're listening enough that if something interesting pops up, you know to go stop it and watch it.
Yes.
You know, maybe there is some value to that, because quite frankly, probably out of a 2-hour program or something, you know, maybe only 15 minutes of it is truly like, in most things is going to be interesting to you or relevant. And then there's going to be 1 hour and 45 minutes of, you know, I'll never get that time back.
Exactly. So why not multitask?
I got you, babe. Yeah, my problem is that when I try to multitask, I don't get anything out of anything, right? I'm just not good at it. I've almost got to be, I've got to be, if it's important enough for me to want to give it some time, I've almost got to be laser focused. Now, it took the temporary turn-in lane here. That was good. So it did it again. So just wanted to point that out, babe, that, you know, that turn-in lane, that right turn-in lane, that's temporary. That hadn't been there for maybe.
I've never seen it before.
That's your first time to see it.
Yes.
It's actually been there for about 2, maybe 3 weeks tops.
Oh, okay.
And the reason I like pointing that out is that's not going to be on Google Maps right there, right?
Mm-mm.
That's not going to be on navigation. So only in a vision-based system that basically is like an autonomous robot where it can take in information. Go ahead.
Go ahead. It's just
and decipher it versus relying on like hard coding.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so things like that clearly show you that it's working off of vision.
I'm listening.
No, you take. I was done. That was it. That was all I was doing. So, no, go ahead, babe. Finish your.
Pretty much what you're saying is the new version update is based off of camera based, not Google Map. It's a combination of both.
It's a combination. So, back in the day when I first got on FSD, remember how you really, you, even though I was really excited about it and I was having these 0 intervention or 1 intervention drives, when you would, and I would tell you about it, I was like, babe, it's so good. And then you'd get in the car with me and you were like, you're freaking high. This sucks. Remember that first, at the very beginning?
Yes.
Okay. So that was version 11, where there were times where you were just like, I get it. It's gotten us from point A to point B, but I don't want to ride your car again for 30 days. Remember that feeling?
Oh yeah. Cause it was slamming the brakes and it was like just so,
Yeah. No. So, that was version 11. That was the first version I was on. That was all hard coding. So like, if this, then that type of stuff. Yep. And for something like driving, you got to have like hundreds of thousands of lines of code for something like that, right? Because driving is very unpredictable and lots of different variables can happen. In fact, it's probably one of the most, out of all the things we do as humans, it probably provides the most variability to anything, right? You think about it. On a typical 30-minute drive going anywhere, the amount of different variables that can get thrown at you are probably more on the road than any other place in your life.
Correct.
In that 30-minute span. And so that's why it was just tough. Like, even though where we're going today, we're going to the Asian food market. On version 11, on the later versions of version 11, we could have probably gotten there with no interventions, but it would have been clunky. It would have really been uncomfortable to you as a passenger, right? And you were in that so they scrapped all that.
Thank God. That's horrible.
Yeah, no. So, and everybody agrees that was not going. That yes, could you continue to iterate on that type of system and have drives that get you there? But are you ever going to be able to scale something like that to the point where it's comfortable enough for somebody who doesn't give a crap about Tesla FSD or autonomous? They just want to get a ride. They are not going to want to ride in your car again.
Well, I think the thing is too, it's like they probably had to smooth out those wrinkles, especially if they're going to roll out the robo-taxi.
Well, they didn't smooth out the wrinkles. They threw it in the trash can.
Oh, good.
So what happened was, I was explaining like what I was on was version 11. Yep. And by the way, remember version 11 when the first time that we went to California in my Tesla, I was on version 11. Yeah. And so remember, like, we would have like 8 or 9 interventions a day trying to get places to go see friends and family. Yeah. Remember and that was just.
But in all honesty, if you really want to test out how well Tesla does it, you go to Little Saigon in California.
Well, I was going to continue. So like, and remember we did that, and it had some fits. Yeah. It had some interventions. Yeah. Hell, it went into the wrong side of the road in Little Saigon. Yeah, I will tell you, you haven't taken me all over the greater Los Angeles area, all the way north. What was that, Sherwood Forest or whatever the hell that place is, Bel Air. And then I went all the way north up there. Obviously, I've gone all the way south, Huntington Beach, Seal Beach, and everything in between.
Sherman Oaks,
there you go. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. In LA, don't talk to me unless you've gotten all the way through Little Saigon and Little Cambodia. If you can get through those places without intervening, that's the closest I've seen. Now, don't get me wrong. The 405, is it the 405 or
the 405.
405's rough, but I'm going to tell you what. FSD's got the 405 down. It's those little bitty dense neighborhoods that are tough. So when I think about LA, when I think about like the true litmus test was Little Saigon, and here's the reason why. It's dense as hell. People everywhere.
Yeah.
Number two, you can say it, I won't say it, but anyway.
Asian drivers everywhere.
No, I was not what I was going to say. Number three. Babe, I am infuriated with you. How could you ever insinuate something? That was definitely not my number two. Anyway, number three is that it's an older, Little Saigon and Little Cambodia, they're both not just dense with lots of people walking and driving around, but it's old too. And so when you go into those shopping, number one, those parking lots of those shopping centers are not straightforward. They're all old and beat up, you know? Because a Cambodian storefront owner could give a crap about how good the parking lot is. They're just focused on delivering the goods, getting cash flow. They don't care. They're never going to be Rodeo Drive. And they don't want to be Rodeo Drive. They want to have the best damn pho you've ever had in that part of Los Angeles, right?
Correct.
All right, we're merging here. Great job. How's that, baby?
It's okay.
What do you mean it's okay?
It was good.
Woman?
I felt like it almost hit that car.
No, it didn't. It was, we had somebody right behind us and somebody right to our side. So it did exactly what, how do you mean? Like,
it was perfect.
Because we're on camera. So I don't want you doing misinformation. When you just said it felt like we were going to hit somebody,
well, okay,
I need you to rephrase. Correct yourself.
Let me restate.
Yes.
From
restate.
my point of view.
Okay.
It looked like...
Choose your words carefully.
It looked like it was very close to that oncoming car.
Okay.
From my point of view of where I am sitting right now.
And did you scream at any point in time?
No, because what...
And do you normally scream when you get scared of something? Yes, you do. Do you normally... When we see a horror movie, what do you do to my arm?
I don't like clowns.
Why is it I can't lift my arm above my shoulder anymore now?
I don't like
because when we saw it, remember that?
Yes.
So I want everyone to know you are somebody that when they get scared, you definitely let me know.
I also talk during the movie.
You talk during the movie.
And I also
you
yell
talk throughout the movie. You scream. You grab my arm and rip it out of my shoulder socket. Okay, keep going.
And I'm also one of those that yell at other drivers as I'm driving.
Yes, you do. And at no point in time did you ever do any of those things.
No.
So I want that to be on the record.
It might be because I'm not driving.
And you're comfortable as a passenger right now. Babe, you're doing the best. Keep going. So you were comfortable the whole time as a passenger.
Yeah. I trust the system enough. I've been in it enough to trust the system.
Trust the system. Like Bill Belichick. Trust the system. Do your job. You know who Bill Belichick is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The one dating a 26-year-old.
Is he?
Yeah, his girlfriend's young. She's only 20-something.
Wow, and he's got to be like in his...
78 or something like that.
Damn. Go Bill.
Of course you would.
Just kidding, baby. Just kidding. That was a joke, baby doll.
Yes.
So I'm going to, in a second here, I'm going to take something out of the navigation because I wanted to go 1960 instead of Highway 99. So I put a point of interest in here. And I'm thinking about 3 miles. Yeah. I forgot what it was, but it was something right on 1960. So, because I wanted to see how it does on 1960 as well. Since this is a major thoroughfare of the North Houston area, right, baby?
Yes.
Anyway, anywho, so yeah. in my mind, it handled that merging onto 1960 perfectly.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
I wasn't going to let you spout misinformation all over the place.
Of course not.
Is that? Oh, never mind. Second, I thought that was B.
No.
I was like, what's B doing out here walking on 1960?
He's too tall.
Yeah. Johnny's old neighborhood's right over there, right?
Yep.
Take a right down that house you used to own.
Yep.
And I'm glad we got rid of that thing.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, right down that street, Deer Booker Estates.
Yep.
Have you heard from Johnny lately?
No, I don't talk to him.
Has your mom?
Moving on.
Has your mom?
No, she doesn't talk to him.
Moving on. Okay. So yeah, we got a busy week coming up. We got
Since surgery.
Tuesday morning, early. Sin's got to be back at the hospital at 6 a.m.
Which hospital is it?
It's that same one in Stafford.
Oh, okay.
At 7787 Southwest Freeway. So it's not really the medical center. Yeah. But you know how, which hospital group is it? I forget. I don't think it's Methodist. I think
it's Memorial Hermann?
Yeah, it's Memorial Hermann. So you know how it is. It's not like they have their big ones in the medical center. But man, I'll tell you what, Memorial Hermann and Methodist, they have huge hospitals all over town now.
Yep.
And that one, so it's that one there in Stafford right off of 59.
Yep.
And yeah, he's got to be there at 6 a.m. So I told him, I was like, I think traffic is going to be fine before 6 a.m., but you just never know because you got to, because we're going to be going a long distance on 59. And it'd probably, at that time of the morning, be fine. Here, let me,
no, at that time.
Hold on one second, babe. Edit trip. Let me take that out. All right. Yep, there we go. Good job. But what was I going to say? Oh, so he's got to be there by 6 a.m. to start getting prepped for his surgery. And I told him, we could probably leave at 5 to 5:15 and be okay.
No, that guy wants to leave early.
But I also agreed with him. I was like, why take a chance?
Yeah.
It's the day of your surgery. Just get there a little early. So we're going to leave it around 4:45.
Yeah.
So it's going to be butt crack of dawn, baby.
Yeah, but
it's good. It's good. See? That wasn't comfortable to you? So be honest with me, babe. I think most human drivers react like that to the way the traffic is. That's why I wanted to do 1960, because I know there's some stop and go. How did that feel to you? And be honest, but don't do misinformation.
It felt like, you have a driver, have you ever been in a car where someone rides someone's ass and then they stop right at the ass?
Okay, that's not us. It's not riding anybody's ass.
It's not like that, but
okay,
it's it gave me that feeling because they accelerate and then it
Gotcha. Okay. So, for full transparency, at that stoplight back there, you felt like it put on the brakes. Well, it had to put on the brakes like it did, but you're saying that the reason why is it probably should not have been going as fast at that point. It should not.
You have yours set at aggressive, right?
Yeah, I'm in hurry mode. Yeah.
That's why.
So, in the hurry mode, it is going to err on the side of you want to get from point A to point B as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Chill mode, we probably wouldn't even be in this lane. We'd probably be over in the right, just staying out of everybody's business.
Right.
But I agree with you, still at the end of the day, you don't want to feel like you're being tossed around like a sack of tomatoes.
Right.
All right.
Get all bruised up.
Get all bruised up like plums. Honey pecans. So yeah, so Tuesday morning, Sin and I are going to leave the house about 4:45 a.m. The butt crack of dawn. we'll actually be up before dawn, or be on the road before dawn. So it'll likely be pitch black during that whole drive. And then he's going to have his surgery on Tuesday, stay overnight at least. So best case scenario is I go back and pick him up on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We've got Lunar New Year starts Tuesday as well.
I think Wednesday.
Does it start Wednesday?
Yeah.
So that's good. You'll have an opportunity to clean Sin's room.
Yes. And
He'll be gone.
upstairs.
And upstairs before Lunar New Year. And notice I said Lunar New Year. I did not say Chinese New Year.
All right, Peter.
I've learned my lesson on that one.
Then
Yeah.
this following week, we have Justin's engagement.
And then, so yeah, we got Sin's surgery. Lunar New Year starts the next week, so either Tuesday or Wednesday. We got to figure that out. And then probably pick Sin up from the hospital Wednesday or Thursday, get him home. And then Justin's engagement party on Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a full week.
Yep.
When does Justin start his
March 1st.
March 1st? And he's going to Oklahoma and it's air traffic control school?
Yep.
Good for him.
Yep. He has to stay focused because he cannot fail. Because once you fail,
They don't let you do it again?
nope.
Well, there's too much riding on it.
Yep. And you cannot reapply. It's
Yeah,
like-
I mean, how would you like to be in an airplane and have somebody tell you, oh, by the
Yeah.
way, the handful of the guys running the air traffic control towers, I took them about 4 times to pass.
Right.
You'd be like, no, I want everybody in that room to have passed the first time with flying colors. I want you to live, eat, and breathe air traffic control.
But I'm very excited for him because this is what he wants.
Yeah, no,
Wanted to do. He's
yeah,
very
absolutely.
excited when he
and they do well.
yeah,
Babe, those air traffic. Now, granted, the stress levels
it's high.
is high, but you get paid for it.
Yeah. Yep. And,
So that's great. So he's gonna. And how long is that school supposed to last?
6 months, I think.
Woo, Lord, that actually makes sense. It
No,
makes
I think
sense
it's
to
longer
me.
than 6 months.
I was gonna say it might be a little longer than that. And what's her? Is it Jessica?
Jessica.
Is Jessica gonna go up there to visit with him or anything?
I think so. 'Cause-
Well, she's a nurse, so unfortunately, she can't get. It's hard, they work shift work, right?
Yeah, but apparently she picks her own shift. I
That's
guess.
not bad.
Yeah.
And she's an RN, right? Not
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So the other good thing is, I mean, obviously,
go
once
anywhere.
she can go anywhere. Once he's out of air traffic control school, he can get sent anywhere,
Yep.
right? Because you can't really pick and choose.
Nope.
It's where they need you.
Yep.
So quite frankly, I was telling him this. I was like, look, just be open to it. Houston's a big hub, so there's a good chance that you'll be able to stay in Houston. But I was telling him, I was like, I'm going to be honest with you. If you're telling me to put statistics on it, you're probably going to be in Dallas or Chicago. Because if you think about it, the 2 biggest hubs across the country are DFW and O'Hare.
Yep.
So statistically speaking, where do I think they need the most air traffic controllers coming out of school? It's going to be it's going to be Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago, O'Hare, and everybody goes through there because it's the center of the country. Like Houston is the center as well, but we don't get near as much of the cross-country traffic as DFW and O'Hare do. We get the international traffic.
Yeah.
So I told him, I was like, I probably ought to look that up, like which out of all
I would think first grad, like the new grad, they would put him in like the smaller ones that no one wants to be in, like Alaska.
I think
stuff.
they're actually, because I guarantee you, he's not just going to be like, hey, all right, here you go, you're done. You did good in school. Here, go sit in that chair and take United flight whatever, 731 all the way. He's going to be at somebody's heels for a while. They're going to have him at somebody's heels. So my guess will be is he'll probably go to like one of the, like right out of school. You might even have like a temporary assignment to one of the main.
Just
But,
to get
yeah,
the
they're not going to send you to some small airport and have you run the whole day. No, you need time. Just ran a red light there. See, what have I told you, babe? What do I see on just about every single FSD drive I do?
Always
I like that Honda Civic. I like the body style on that.
the hatchback.
I do. I don't know why. I don't like hatchbacks. I don't. I've never liked hatchbacks, but that design right there, I actually like that hatchback look there. What do you think? You know,
Yeah.
You're not a hatchback person either.
I don't mind.
You're more of a sedan and small SUV.
Johnny's first wife used to have a hatchback. She used to let me drive back in high school.
What kind?
A Honda Civic.
Oh, well, I really like the Honda Civics. I like their new designs better than their old ones. Their old ones look like those old Nissan Sentras, like just a matchbox. They look better now, more sporty.
Yeah. I don't know. The back kind of looks like a Prius, if I'm like gonna be honest.
Well, the new Priuses don't look half bad.
No, I'm talking about the first generation Prius.
Oh, yeah, those things look terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, those first generation EVs, it was almost like you were flogging yourself. Like, oh, I want to be good to the environment. I'm going to drive this Prius
I almost
and
got a
flog
Prius.
myself.
But keep in mind, I almost got a Prius only because I was living in California still, and gas was like $3 something.
Yep. And this was before Teslas became more affordable. Because what year would that have been?
This was like 2010.
Yeah, so they weren't even out with the Model S yet. So it's just the Roadster. Yeah, that. Yeah, those early Roadsters were like literally just movie stars, tech CEOs, Hollywood those type of people, because they were real expensive. So if you see somebody with one of those first generation Roadsters, you knew they were big wigs. By the way, the Model Y, that new Model Y, the Juniper, the one we're talking about, it's launching. They've actually got it on the Tesla website now.
Oh.
So you can start taking a look at it. And I believe it's launching in the States in March. So they've really sped it up. So we need to take a look at like where we're at on your Mercedes. And if we'll figure all that out. And obviously now, granted, we're probably still underwater because everybody that bought a vehicle 2 or 3 years ago is pretty much underwater because the value, there's no way, what we paid for your Mercedes 2 years ago compared to today.
Yeah.
It was just a weird market 2 to 3 years ago, like coming out of the pandemic.
Yeah.
The supply chain was all beat to hell. And so
Should have let him in.
I was thinking it was. They had the blinker on. Let's see what. Usually it's pretty good about giving somebody a courtesy gap. It did not do it that time. That person had their blinker on. Let's see what happens this go around. Okay, the person still got their blinker on. It was slowing down for them.
Your car is an asshole.
It was not. It slowed down for them. You saw that.
Yeah. She did hesitate.
Yeah, she hesitated. That's the thing. In hurry mode, it'll give you that gap. But just like a person, if you don't take it, sayonara. Bye-bye. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. How exciting.
So, yeah, whenever you get a chance, we can go on the website, take a look. the interesting thing about so they're launching it in series. So what that means is they're going ahead and getting out a really nice Model Y Juniper right now, but it's going to be kind of one of the top of the line. And then what they'll do, and so the top of the line one, it's going to come with a whole bunch of accoutrements, options baked into it. You can't even decide on it. So it's actually a little more expensive than what you would know. Like normally, if you just like a month ago, if you wanted to go get a Model Y, you could configure that thing 8 ways to Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you could pay as little as you want and or as more, you know, depending on, you could have a very wide range. In fact, I think just with the Model Y, you could have a $20,000 difference between like the lowest Model Y with no additional paid for options to the best of the best, like a performance with all the bells and whistles, right? You could be like a $20,000 difference. Right now, in their initial launch in the US, they're only selling the one with all the bells and whistles. So you got to take all the options, but they're giving you a deal on that. So like if you priced out all of those options, like on the existing system, it would be more expensive than what they've got it going for now. So it's actually a really good, so that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get that very first group of people who get the Model Y on that initial launch. They're actually going to get a really good deal for a Model Y where you wanted all those bells and whistles, right? Now, if you don't care about all the bells and whistles, a lot of those folks are probably going to wait a few more months as they come out with because like, you know, on the Model Y, there's like 3 different variants of the model. There's like the performance, all-wheel drive, and rear-wheel drive, right? And it just depends on what you care about. FSD or no FSD. 21-inch tires or you're good with the 19-inch tires. You know, you'd have to look at, but right now with the initial launch of the Juniper, you get it's just all baked in. So you get all the good stuff. So you might want to take a look at that. I know you said that you didn't really care about whether it had FSD or not, but quite frankly, I think we ought to have FSD on all of our Teslas just because I'm going to be driving it too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And sometimes if it's a long road, we take that car.
And you'll stay. I want you to continue trying to. I know you like to be in control of everything, including me. You got to have control.
Since when do I ever control you?
Oh, baby, we'll just leave.
If I did control you, my pool be
like what?
My pool would.
Oh yeah. No, I got you.
Very
I got to take care of that, and I promised you I would. I'll get that taken care of. It's just been so doggone cold, baby.
Yeah.
And before that, it was raining every day. I will get that taken care of. I promise you.
You know what? The neighbor kid next door, the oldest one.
Yeah.
So he's looking for, because his mom posted on Facebook, whatever. I guess he's looking for like odd jobs to do.
Yep.
To save money for college.
Yeah.
I was thinking of telling him, hey, you want to clean my pool?
Well, he should know how to do it.
Not at that degree.
No, let me take care. Let me take care because there's some subtle nuances that have to be done. So I promise you. I remember I said I was getting started on it, and then we had that 2 to 3 weeks of rain where it was like literally every day.
Yeah.
And then right after that is when I will get that taken care of for you, baby. I promise.
Okay.
Scout's honor.
We gotta do something with the hot tub.
I'll take care of that too. Both of them.
Okay.
You're
We'll see. Next time I'm in here, we'll give an update.
Okay.
Caribbean hot pot.
Yeah, this is like a lot of this part of 1960. I've noticed that there's a lot of Caribbean, Jamaican, West African. So this must be the area where like all the Jamaican, Caribbean, West African food is in this area. I'll tell you what, like the curry, the West African and Caribbean curry, it's really good. It's really good.
First time I ever had Trinidad curry, it was delicious.
Yeah, theirs is really. Now they put things in the curry that we don't know, like you don't normally see. Like, you know, you don't see as much goat, you know, in Asian curry. At least not that I've seen.
I don't think they. Wait, do they eat goats?
Oh yeah. Where in?
No, Vietnam.
Oh,
I think they do.
I don't know if y'all. I don't think they have
rare.
goats in Vietnam.
Yeah, but it's rare.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the main protein? Obviously, we know what I mean, it's fuzz, the staple, and
Beef, pork, chicken.
Beef and pork chicken. So that's yeah. Huh?
Duck.
Duck, yeah. Duck. You know, that's all of East Asia, right? Duck is a big protein. So in the Caribbean, goat is one of the bigger proteins. I like it. I like the taste of goat.
I don't know if I've ever had goat.
You probably have
gamey?
if you, huh?
Is it gamey?
No, it's not. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's gamey. Like duck is actually more gamey than goat. It goes real. I don't know. All right, is it stopping? Yes.
It sure did.
It stopped.
Good job, it.
Good job. No name. But no, I would say it's pretty tender. I don't think I've ever eaten it like on its own. So it's always been like in a curry dish.
Smothered.
Yeah. So that's the only thing, is sometimes you don't really know the true, you know,
gaminess of it.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they soak it first to get all
Oh,
the
yeah,
out.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. You could tell, like, yeah, I think this is kind of the West African / Caribbean section of 1960. And then, of course, no matter where you are on 1960, there's going to be a Mexican restaurant. And probably authentic as hell. But that's just all Houston. It's like, wait a second, aren't we in the Caribbean section? So that's the Caribbean section of Houston's Mexican food restaurant. Seven Spice Pho. There's a Vietnamese place right there, Pho and Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is kind of where it gets all blended.
Well, let me see. The temple that my dad's at is not too far from here, actually.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So-
We're not that far from, it's Luella? No, I forget where. But it's not, you're right. It's like Veterans Memorial.
And Greens Road.
And Greens Road, yeah. That's actually not that far from this
and
area.
around that area has a bunch of Vietnamese people.
Well, of course.
So
That's why
I
the
think
temple's there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to put a temple around a bunch of folks that look like me. They're going
That's
to
true.
serve their community, right? So they're going to make sure it's around. So yeah, I would suspect there's Vietnamese communities out here. All right, looks like we're about a mile away from our next turn on TC Jester. See, I think it is going to rain today, babe. It's not opening up, but you can see the little sprinkles. I think we're going to get some rain today. I am Old Church of Christ. Now I'm starting to do that old person thing. Read every sign. Cypress Wood Medical Drive.
Show your true colors, babe. Show your true colors. I'm normally the one driving here, so I never really pay attention.
See, now that with Tesla FSD taking you to the Asian food market, which one are we going to
No,
again?
we're going to a wholesaler.
Oh, the hell. So, but it's the same thing. It's a wholesale of you normally don't get to just sit back and see the scenery. The beautiful scenery of FM 1960.
Yes.
You don't get to see the auto repair shops, the boat and RV self-storage. You didn't know that was there. Now you get to just sit back and enjoy all of this industrialness.
My hero.
The Brisket House Barbecue.
Sounds delicious.
Looks like we should be turning left up here at the next light. Let's see. Yep, got its left blinker on. We get over into the dedicated left turning lane. And now we got the protected left turn. Let's see if we can make it through the light here. Is it going to stay there long enough for us? Ooh, I thought that red Civic was going to try to do something stupid. All right, we're going to keep it. Got yellow, we're good. You can turn on yellow here in Texas. As long as you're in the middle before it turns red. I looked that up.
That's when it'll go.
That's the law. Like what is that time? Like when are you breaking the law as a light turns?
your wheels, as long as it's yellow and you cross that line,
Yep,
and it turns
then you're
red,
good.
fine.
So it can actually turn red on you while you're in the intersection. Correct. You're still good. As long as your back tires cross that white line before it turned red, you're good to go. You don't want to make a habit of something like that. Now, where are we going here?
I'm going through the back entrance.
Oh.
Which I think you're going to be stuck.
Am I going to get stuck? Well, let's see.
Oh, no. Wait. Oh, I've never gone this.
I think we're going to get stuck here.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's going, let's see if it can figure that out on its own, though. Yep, we're stuck. So what are you going to do? Let me just give it a second. I'm probably going to have to intervene here. I was going to see if it will reverse its way out of this.
Maybe it's thinking it's one of those automated.
It could be because it isn't like it's a fence. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to intervene. But it did stop, so it recognized the gate. All right, I'm going to intervene here. I was hoping it would reverse itself out. So it got itself, it came in the wrong way, and it did stop, but it didn't reverse its way out. So let me get it reset here, and let's see if it can. Let's see what it. Okay. Let's just see, babe. So we had an intervention. Wasn't a critical intervention, but it was an intervention. It's good to see those things, but it didn't try to reverse out of it. Like it stopped for the fence, but it didn't then try. Now, are we going to get stuck here too?
No, we won't. It's open.
Okay. So this is the way it should have gone before, instead of taking a right. Which is interesting. Had that fence been open, we would have been fine.
Yep.
Well, but it didn't. When it met the fence, it was sitting there acting like it was going to get opened. And then now once we get up here, it's probably going to drop us off in front. I'm going to see if it'll park us. Let's see. Give me 1 second here, babe. I'm going to see if it... Oh, is it going to keep going? What's it going to do here? So don't get out just yet. I want to see if I can get us parked. All right, give me once. All right. In trip, navigate. Let me see how the parking lot looks on here. So let me try something here. Just bear with me, baby doll. Bear with me. Okay. Let's see if you can do it. Find a parking spot. Find a parking spot. Come on, baby girl. You're not going to try to park? All right, let me do it one more time, babe. You're like, what the hell are you doing? Let me try right over here. Thank you for bearing with me, baby. Just
I ain't got nowhere else to go.
I know, you're stuck with me. No, but it can't go down that way.
Oh my God.
Don't go. Good job. It was about to, and it saw that arrow and came back around here instead. Good job. All right, but now park us. Okay, it's gonna park us, but now okay. I'm just gonna have to go park us, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, let's see if it's so. Now, interestingly, and I'm not gonna do this. I got sins. I'm not doing that. That's a. All right, babe. So how was that?
Interesting. But why did it park in the handicap?
Because it was an available spot. I was trying to get it to find, like, just go around. Will you find a spot and park? And it did. I don't think it differentiates. I could be wrong. I don't think it differentiates between a handicapped spot and a non-handicapped spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull out here and go park over there.
Yep.
How was it, babe?
It was good.
You know what? Actually, no, it's because, you know what? I was going to do actual smart summon over there, but actual smart summon won't get you into a park. It'll just stop in front of a parking spot. You ready, babe?
Ready.
Oh, Lord. What'd you get?
I got me a hot dog corn bun.
All right, well, let me focus on this first as we're getting out of here. Is there somebody behind? Oh, that car. What are they doing?
Avoiding that cart.
Okay. And it looks like it's showing an individual right next to our car. That's weird. And then it went away. That was weird. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
It like had a person stand. I wonder if that was left out, like that lady that was getting into the car.
Oh, maybe.
That took it. That it just stuck there for a second. That's why it wasn't moving. Is it showed a person right? All right. Which way are we gonna go here? I hope it doesn't try to go back through that gate. Let's see. No, don't do that. I think if it's going to try to do that, I may have to intervene.
Oh, it is.
Well, let's just let it do its thing. It's showing that path is open, but it's not. Let me just see if it can correct itself. So I may have to intervene again at the exact same spot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is it showing that gate being open? That's exactly what it's going to do. And it's going to have to come to a stop again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it better. And it does. Is it going to reverse out?
Mm-mm.
It is not going to. Let me give it a second. Give me 5 seconds, babe. And then I'll put it in reverse. Yep, it's not going to do it. So that is. Let me put it in reverse here. So it got itself, that's the same fence that was closed before. It got itself in the exact same predicament.
Mm-hmm.
but would not reverse out of that predicament. So that's good to know. All right, straighten it out here. Okay, and it's gonna go the way it should have gone previously, or I thought it was. Now it's gonna go. Now, it should have just gotten out on FM, this is FM 1960 out here? Okay. There we go. Yeah, I don't know why it did that, babe. I mean, it's always good to know, but it wanted to go that back way out of, all right, we got a car oncoming, we got to stop for them, good job. So I had an intervention, non-critical intervention, but at the exact same spot as coming in. It wanted to go the back way out of the wholesale, the Asian market wholesale place. And the good news is, there's two good things and one bad. The two good is, number one, it's trying to find the quickest way out of there. I think as a crow flies, that is the quickest way, because you can see we're going TC Jester. That is definitely, if that fence is open, that's the quickest way to get out of there. But on the bad side, and the other good thing is, when it got up to the fence, that's not a door or a wall or a gate, it's a fence. So it's about as thin as it gets. It stops for it. The bad is, it's got the ability to go in reverse. Like it does 8-point turns, 10-point turns to do things. It obviously can go in reverse. And it did not, and I sat there and gave it a while, it did not try to correct itself either time at that fence. So I don't know, I'm like you. Is it thinking because it's a fence that it may be about to open? Like it's one of those fences where if you get up close enough, it'll automatically.
Like automatic.
Yeah, because there are those, but that's not what that was. That was a locked fence. So it should have reversed out and corrected itself, and it didn't. So I had to manually intervene and reverse out. Maybe in a little bit. Is it good?
I don't know. I haven't tried.
I don't know. It's hot dogs in a. Is that like a? That's almost like a kolache, right?
Chinese version of it.
Yeah. I don't. No, thanks, babe.
Your loss.
I agree. It'll be my loss. Chinese version of a kolache with hot dog wieners
And corn.
and corn. Yeah, I'm not excited. That doesn't, like, my taste buds aren't like watering over the thought of that.
The bread is like. Let's try this one.
Man, don't be wrong. Asian bread can be good. Like, I love banh mi. What y'all do with what y'all do? Should say it like that. You know what I mean. What you people do with your bread? That Vietnamese bread, you know what I'm talking about? No, that's good. I like that, but that just doesn't look as appetizing. I'm just gonna be honest with you, babe. This is no racial overtones here. Just a quiet, well, not quiet, a very loud observation on my part. That does not look appetizing.
Delicious.
To the Western eye. I'm sure it is. Here, let me get one. Give me a bigger one than that, because I got it. I will. Give me a taste.
Try it with the fork.
I don't know about that. Let me just try the bread first, babe.
Okay, try it. Just try the whole thing.
Bread. Nah. The bread's okay, but whatever it's mixed in with, no.
I was like shredded pork. That's the best part. It gives you the salty flavor with the crunch.
There's no crunch about that. It's not. No. That's why they sell that at the Asian market to the Asian people, and not. Do not put that in the boba shop. What are you looking for, babe?
Napkins?
Oh, I don't think I have any anymore. I think they all got used up. Yeah, you're gonna have to use your pants. Here, you want to use? Here, use
No,
these.
it's okay. I have a shirt in there.
I used to keep some in here, but I guess I used them all up.
Look.
They didn't give you one when you bought it?
No, I didn't grab one.
Oh.
I thought I grabbed a durian cake one, but I didn't. This is too good.
Just eat it, baby. I ain't gonna ask you for any more of it. Yeah, that is was that at the bakery or was that inside the whole? Yeah, see that they're making that for. They ain't making that for me.
Mm-mm-mm.
See, not everything's got to be for everybody. They can make food just for their market too. It doesn't have to be all boba and stuff like that. I would not put that in your boba shop in Atascocita. That ain't gonna. Yeah.
Delicious.
I'm sure it is, babe. But there ain't a white person or a black person alive, American Western person, that's gonna like look at that and go, "Oh yeah, that reminds me of what my Aunt Fanny used to make." And Splendora Tech. No, nobody could. Now I could see like that's kind of it's got a little Hispanic thing to it. I could see that working pretty well, but in white and black neighborhoods, no, not Southern. That's just not gonna work right there. That I don't think like sweet is sweet and salty is salty. You know what I mean? You rarely mix the two. Yeah, that didn't go.
Sweet and salty is best together.
Yeah, I don't know. No. Yeah, see, we're getting a little bit of a mist, baby.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing, you may be right. Technically, this isn't raining yet. This is just misty. Misted.
Oh, I'm full.
Good job, baby. You tore that up. That was 2 of them, too, wasn't it?
I didn't eat them all.
You want to make sure. I didn't eat it all. See, I left a little piece right in there.
For later.
And remember, I ate a piece that big.
Mm-hmm.
Save that for later. I mean, don't get me wrong, babe. That is not a baby egg or whatever the hell that thing is.
A balut?
A balut. What is it called? Balut?
Balut?
That's the most sinister thing anybody's ever given me to eat. Between you and no, hell no.
Funny.
You and New giving me that thing and not forewarning me how terrible that was going to be.
But it
to
wasn't even bad. We
it's
love
terrible.
balloons. They're good.
That hit my taste buds, and
There's
just
no taste to it.
No, and the texture of it, there was like a revolt going on in my mouth, like literally, like just a reflex, like no player,
That's just
get this out. No, it was just like
embedded in your mind. You already
No,
have
that just sucked. It just was terrible. It was absolutely god awful. It was sinister. It was the worst things that my taste buds have ever experienced.
Might have to buy some this week.
No. Ugh. Just please don't mix those up with the real egg. So that bread did not cut. I mean, that's what I said. For me, the bread was more of like, just not my thing. You know, just not my jam. I'm not necessarily wanting to mix like real salty with sweet. You know, like I'm not even like the Mexican candy that you see, like that Jacob really likes.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's terrible. It's just not my jam. I don't rock with that. And so that's what kind of that reminded me of, is like that sweet and real, not just salty, but like real salty. Like we're just gonna, empty out the salt shaker into this taffy. Like, no.
Sea salt taffy, that's good.
I like, but yeah, salt water. But that's what that bread kind of reminded me of, is we're just going to completely go hard in the paint on both of these. I don't know why that guy was going so slow here.
What about Durango?
Hold on one second, babe. Are we getting up in here? Yeah, okay. I want to concentrate on, I rarely go this part of the Beltway, so I just want to make sure we're okay. You go this part of the Beltway quite a bit, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Durango. That's actually okay. That one I'm okay with. I don't know why. Now, don't get me wrong. Again, my mouth is not watering over the thought of, the next time I get Durango, there's another Tesla, babe. So that is that a Tesla? Yeah. That is a Model 3. That's an old Model 3. Why, they need a car wash, but then again, mine needs a car wash too. But now you tell me you've made some homemade pho, or hey, I'm bringing home a couple of beef and chicken banh mi's, or what's that other dish you make that your mom makes? I can't remember the name of it. Bogaloo or Bagaloo or something. Bop bop, tip bop, tick-tock, tic-tac-toe. Tick-haw. Yeah, tick-tock. Yeah, when y'all make that tick-tock, that shit is good. Our stuff is good. I love that. I'm going to tell you what, that tick-tock.
Tick-haw.
The tick. Uh-oh. It's like we should have stayed on 1960. It's going to slow down. Watch. See? It's not going to slow down. No, babe. It's just going to barrel ass through.
I mean, that's what it felt like.
Because it's an EV, babe. Like, all it did, like, you've driven my EV enough now to realize that the minute you take your foot off the accelerator in an EV.
First of all, you've let me driven this thing maybe twice.
I've let you drive it more than that.
No.
But you never.
No. If I was to say, hey, can I use your car real quick to run to the store? Your first response would have been, what's wrong with your car?
Okay. Because that's true. There was a time.
See? There you go.
There was a time. But now I want you to enjoy it more.
Yeah.
And then you got to drive it for a lot of miles on our way up to Kentucky.
Let's not even well, that's because you needed your rest. That was my second time driving. The first time.
And you completely obliterated my safety score for insurance. But no biggie. Oh, babe. You know I've got a safety score for my insurance.
Oh, you're talking about my speeding?
Well, no, everything.
What do you mean?
You stop and go, like, because you're in control. You're one of those that when you drive, you put your heart and soul and you also your phone into driving, right? So you're kind of like, you'll be going 88 and then have to slow way down to 65 and then you'll go back up to 8 and you'll kind of do the accordion thing. That shows up on my safety score.
Oh, my bad. You didn't.
No, it's no biggie. I worked my way out of it. All it took was like a week's worth of full FSD and I had So I had 100 safety score. You know what my safety score is when I woke up and got back behind the car? 78. You lowered me down. Now, a lot of that is because you put a lot of miles into it, which is good. You gave me a rest. I trust your driving too. I trust your driving impeccably. So I'm not bringing this up to say like, because you're not a terrible driver. You are a good human driver. But guess what good human drivers do, even on the highway when they're driving for 300 or 400 miles?
Make errors.
They make errors. They act like an accordion, up and down, up and down, up and down. They rush to get into a gap instead of letting it happen naturally, right? They do. And you did all those things. And you as a human.
How would you know if I did all those things if you were sleeping?
Because I saw it. So I'm on Tesla insurance. Let me see. This is why you can never hide from the artificial intelligence. It knows what you've done. So I had a readout of everything that happened during the time you were driving. It told me the hard braking, the sudden movements. It's all gone now. I'll show you later on in the app, but there's like 7 or 8 things it keeps track of during your drive, and you obliterated all of them. Now, babe, at the end of the day, you drove us for a good 300 miles, let me sleep and I was out too, right? So obviously
It was a smooth ride.
It was a smooth ride. I was very comfortable with it. I fell asleep, but I also trust you, right? I trust you more than any other human on this blue marble of ours. I trust you with everything, my life, everything. Hell, I'd lay down my life for you, baby. Right?
My hero.
I'm your hero, whatever. I say all that to say, absolutely. But I get the lowest insurance you can possibly get for driving my vehicle, right? And the only way I get that really low premium on this vehicle is because I'm with Tesla Insurance. I use FSD all the time. And Tesla, here in the state of Texas, when you're on their insurance, the state of Texas allows Tesla to use all my in-car driving diagnostics to come up with my premium. So because I use FSD all the time, I get the lowest premium based on that. But when you drive it manually, it's got to still use all that in-car diagnostic data, right? And you obliterated it, baby.
Okay, well, that goes
You
to
took
show.
me, hold on a second, let me finish. You took me from 100 score rating, because I was using FSD 100% of the time. And I'm not saying that I want you to enjoy the Tesla. When you get into the Tesla, I want you to go be to the, and I know that. So that's why I kind of pick and choose.
What I'm telling you is, if and when I do get a Tesla, we're not going through Tesla.
No. Here's the deal. We're still going to go through Tesla insurance because they know more data. Even when you drive it manually, they know Tesla better than any like State Farm does. We'll still get a lower score. I guarantee it. When we get your Tesla, we're going to go through Tesla insurance, right? We'll see what that premium looks like. We already know what your premium is on the Mercedes. We'll compare those. If it gets out of hand, then we'll just go to State Farm. We'll switch it over to State Farm where they could give a crap other than just stay out of a wreck, right? So Tesla takes it to the nth degree. They've got in-car so if it's like a whole lot more than what it's on State Farm, we'll switch it over to State Farm. But let's give Tesla a chance. And I don't want you to think about it for a second. I want you to, when you get your Model Y Juniper, I want you to enjoy it to your heart's itty-bitty content. Go have fun. I want you to use FSD every once in a while.
I'm going to put my foot to the metal and I'm going to floor it.
Put your
down on
foot,
59.
do whatever it is you want. And so that way we'll have 1 month where we can compare and contrast. And if it's just like, holy crap, we're paying a lot more on Tesla insurance because you're flooring it all over the place. I doubt that's going to be the case, because I still think it'll be the same as what we're paying every month on your Mercedes. Like, we'll know what that is. I already know what that is. It's like $350 a month. So, and I pay about $125 to $150 a month because I'm on FSD. I do not for a second think we're going to be down to $125, $150 a month on your Model Y Juniper, because you're going to enjoy it. You're a manual driver. But I do think it's going to be less than $350 a month. We'll see. And if it isn't, if it all of a sudden goes like, holy crap, you're driving so crazy, it's at $500 a month, then we'll go back to State Farm. I don't think that's why. I think that even with you, let's say you had a safety score of 50 every day, I still think that's going to be like because we're not going to be using your car for road trips. So you're still going to be in that like 15 to 20,000 range. And so, I still think we're probably going to be paying like $250, $275 tops, which would still be less than. So don't worry about that. I will track that. You don't track that. I don't even want you looking at your safety score when you get your Tesla.
I wasn't going to.
You were like, let me stop you. Shut the up, because I don't care. Talk to the hand.
That's exactly what it is.
Gotcha, baby. I got you, baby doll. But I do want to be on it to start. Here's the number one reason is it's the purchasing of a Tesla when you just started out on Tesla insurance, so much easier than trying to get everything lined up with stable. So let's do that first month. We'll compare and contrast.
I do want to, before we make any movement, whatever, I want to clean out the garage again, get another dumpster and dump everything away, move all of Wyatt's boxes up into his room, move all of Angel's shit upstairs, or get shelves, and we could put, since all their stuff is already
I say we move it into the room. There's room in their closets for all of it, right?
Wyatt still got to clean out his closet. But,
oh, does he?
Oh, I wanted the metal rack so we could just throw the stuff on there, and then like.
Well, what we can do, we could put everything into Wyatt's room, and then when he comes home on weekends, we'll just give a heads up, and we'll take it down to the garage while he's here for that weekend.
Oh, that's a lot of shit.
Or move it somewhere into the...
Because I want to park a car in the garage.
Well, that's number one, where we'll get our cars parked in there.
So we got to get rid of that fridge.
And now that I don't have a Model S anymore, I got a Model 3, I can probably park mine in the garage if we had room.
And
the problem is everybody in the house is taking over the garage.
Yeah, but Wyatt says we could throw his shit away. His boxing thing, the bags are in the stand. Could go.
Just sell it.
I don't know what he wants to do with the other one, but I'm like, dude, Wyatt, like...
So he doesn't care about it anymore? He's ready to let it go?
I think so, but we might want to double check.
Well, we need to confirm with it, because that thing, the only place it can get moved to is moved away from the house.
Yeah.
There's no other place to move a boxing bag, apparatus, and stand and two bags. I mean, that's just, it's either staying in the garage somewhere, maybe we move it to some other place in the garage, or we totally get rid, or we, one other thing we could think of is...
This is not aggressive, it just went around the car.
Yeah, that's aggressive.
And it's not scoring you low for doing
I didn't even think about that. Was that scaring you?
No, it wasn't scaring me, but I'm a little ticked that, they're talking about my driving.
But FSD's got... I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, really? Okay, let's move on. All
right, Mrs. 78 safety score. That's what I'm going to start calling you now, baby. You my 78, baby. No, you're my 100, baby. You're always 100. You are 100 safety score to me forever and ever.
That's right. That is right. Always and forever.
Because even though you got a 78 safety score in the Tesla, and she gives me 100
But
score,
just so you know,
she isn't going to be
A++
having to clean me up and wipe my butt 30 years from now.
That is true.
I'm just messing
30
with you, baby.
years, boy. Might be sooner than that.
hey, I'm in good health, baby. Look at this. I'm trying to lose. Well, I will say I was doing really, really good. I was down to, what did I weigh? So I got down to like 212 right before the holidays hit. So remember, I was doing like really, and I will admit I've put on about 10 pounds since the holidays. So I got to like right before Thanksgiving, I got all the way down to 212. And I want to get like below 200 again. Like I want to get to 195, and then I think I'll be happy at 195. Yep. And so I had gotten down to 212, and I was feeling good right before Thanksgiving. And then Thanksgiving hit, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy myself during Thanksgiving week. And I did. And what I did is I was like, but I'm going to just try to do some things to like, I'm not going to watch myself as hard, but I'm going to get out there and try to be a little more active and, you know, not eat after like 8 or 9 p.m. And I did really good during Thanksgiving. Like I would say if I was 212 the week before Thanksgiving, I came out of Thanksgiving week at about 215. So I was still going. I've only put on about 3 pounds. The problem is in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I was like, well, shit, I know I'm going to want to enjoy myself for Christmas. So I'm not going to try to, you know, so I basically like hovered between 215 and 217 during that week. Yeah. And then Christmas, New Year's, and I was like, I did it again. I enjoyed. So then I got myself back up into the low 220s. So right now I am at 222. And I got myself down to 212 before Thanksgiving. So in the last 2 months, because I justified it all in my own damn head about the holidays, I put on 10 pounds over the last 2 months. So I need to get those 10 pounds back off and then get back on my journey, baby, to 195. That's my goal weight. I don't really, honestly, I get to 195, and even if I still got a little bit of chunk on me, I think I'm going to be okay with 195. You know, you saw me at 212. Yep. I mean, I think losing 17 more pounds, honestly, for me on my big frame, I think going much below 200 is probably not, you know what I mean? I think at 195, I should be okay.
I think 195, you'll be good.
Yeah, but I'm back up to well, I shouldn't say back up. I mean, I was well above that. So I still feel good, better than I was 6-7 months ago. You know, when I was in the shit. Hell, at one point during the oh man. So my worst was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Remember, I think all of us did. So my worst and my very, very worst, man, this was just embarrassing. So it was like early 2021 or maybe summer, like basically we had been at home for like a year, and it was before I quit drinking too.
Yeah.
And I want to say I got up to like high 260s, like I don't think I hit 270. Like I don't think, I'm trying to remember. I don't think I remember like seeing 270, but I remember seeing high 260s. And I was like, man, but of course, I just kind of floated around 250s, 260s for a while. I never got but I always just kind of floated. And then I just decided, like around, what are we doing here? Are we turning right? Okay, good. We got a dedicated right turning signal, but it's turning on us. We can turn though still, and it's right turn in Texas on red is all the time. Anyway, so remember it was right around July 4th holiday, and I was like, I'm never so I had kind of gotten down back into like the 240s, 250s, but I was like, you know what? I'm never gonna lose weight drinking. Like, I'm just this drinking, and plus, you know, my drinking was like not good. So I was just like, you know what? Screw this. I'm just gonna stop drinking. And I'm going to tell you what.
Don't you feel so much better?
I feel so much better. But here's the thing I was going to say on that. Obviously, the most important thing with stopping drinking is I just feel so much better. When I wake up in the morning, I feel like I'm ready to go. Although I will say these last couple of mornings, just because of the cold weather, it's kind of had me like a little bit funky. But let's take those 2 days off the table. When you wake up and your body has not had to metabolize any alcohol, man, I just feel so much better. Like everything. The road trips that I took in the Tesla, I wouldn't have done that had I still been drinking. I wouldn't have felt good about doing that, right? So that's all. But I will also say this, like losing weight is so much easier when you're not drinking. Yep. Like right after I stopped drinking, so that July 4th week, that July 4th holiday week, I was like, I'm done. And then as soon as I did that, I only really did two things. I stopped drinking and I stopped eating in the morning. So like here's the funny thing. Well, it's not funny, it's just the fact. For me personally, when I was drinking, I almost felt like I had to eat something first thing in the morning to like absorb the crap. Like, you know, your stomach would feel all shitty. And it's like, man, I almost feel like I got to eat something just to like get that crappy feeling out of my stomach. I don't have that feeling anymore. So like when I wake up first thing in the morning, I want to push off that first meal now. And so my first meal is always like, and you know this, sometimes I'll even get aggressive with it. Like when we were in Kentucky, hell, I wasn't eating until like 5 or 6 in the evening.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to do that. That was just me being aggressive at that time. But what I basically tried to do is don't drink, push off my first meal until the afternoon. Like don't eat in the morning, have coffee. Granted, you know me, I drink the Monsters and the Coke Zeros, and I know that's not good. I probably need to cut that out at some point too. But for now, it's just don't eat. Don't intake calories in the morning. Push that off to the early afternoon. And then also try not to eat after like 8 o'clock at night. Yep. Like don't go to bed for 4 hours after you eat, basically.
I noticed my peanut butter was all gone.
I've annihilated that. See, that's again part of my because I was keeping that out of the house too. Like I wasn't eating peanut butter. Yeah. Like I wasn't eating peanut. So let me recharacterize that since we're on camera, because I don't want anybody to think that peanut butter is a bad. But peanut butter is a good food. Yes. For most people, it's a good source of protein. Yes. Doesn't have a lot of carbs. Granted, sometimes they add a little sugar to it, but you can get like, so I don't want anybody, because I do want to rephrase that. Yes, did I annihilate the peanut butter? Yes. Is it gone? Yes, it's gone. I have an unhealthy relationship with peanut butter. I love peanut butter.
Gotta be Jiffy, because it ain't Jiffy.
If it ain't Jiffy, it ain't right. You know, if it ain't Jiffy, it ain't right. No. But yeah, I don't know why. I don't know if it's from my childhood, because you gotta remember, I grew up dirt ass poor, right? And I don't know what in the Asian community, when you grow up dirt ass poor in Vietnam, I mean, I'm sure there's like a staple food.
Rice and soy sauce.
There you go, rice and soy sauce. But in the trailer park, the cheapest thing you could get, you get a big old jug of peanut butter. And so that was like, I just grew up on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, right? As a cheap form of calorie. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but you know, I didn't have a chef making baked chicken and fish fillets and, you know, rice au gratin for me at the, you know, Fountain Oaks trailer park in Silsbee, Texas. There was none of that. So yeah, you have to load up on things that will so my mom would load up on things that would give me calories. Cause that's, when you're a mom, you know this, babe. When you're a mom, everything else goes out the window other than I need to put calories in my son's mouth. And that's all I care about. Y'all can preach to me about how bad a Big Mac is, or preach to me about this or that and food pyramids and all that crap. When you're poor and you're a single mom, all you give a crap about is how do I get calories into this little rugrat's stomach, because I am the one responsible for him, and I could give two flying beep about what you think about my use of the food pyramid, mother ucker, right? You're a single mom trying to make ends meet. I'm telling you, and I got a lot of friends out there that are all the MAHA, the Make America Healthy Again. I am totally on board with that. But I will say this, and I want to look in the camera on it. Y'all got to remember that there's a lot of single moms out there that are just trying to make ends meet. And when y'all get online and preach about, the things that don't put that on those moms. Don't put that on those poor people, because they're just trying to stretch a paycheck. And I'm going to tell you what, my mom made it stretch with big old jugs of peanut butter and government whatever the hell, and freaking a thing of jelly about that big that probably cost 99 cents. A Wonder Bread, or actually for us, it wasn't Wonder Bread. It was what was that? The Texan. There was a bread. I forget what the name of that was, but it was like you could get a loaf that was literally that long. And if you waited a day, it was day old bread. You waited a day, it was 79 cents. And you get a loaf of white bread that long. But as long as you waited till it was 24 hours old, they'd put it up on those shelves in the grocery store and put a little sticker on it, 79 cents. But it would remind you it's day old bread. My mom would get that. You could make that, you could, if you maintained it well, you could feed a 9-year-old boy who's literally bigger than you. Then you're like sitting there going like, how the hell does he eat so damn much? Like, look at me, babe. What do you think I look like at 9?
Husky.
I had those, so I had, my mom, bless her heart, she would rip that thing, because she had to buy those Husky jeans for me. Oh my God. And I was so embarrassed, but it was the only damn things that would fit my fat butt. So here I was 9 or 10 years old, and I was like, all my friends, like, they were wearing Levi's or, then like regular, like Wranglers. Like I always called them like regular skinny people pants. But me, my mom and my granny had to buy those Husky. And I would beg my mom, please rip that Husky thing off of it. Like, why did they and they would literally, it was a thing that was like that damn big on the back. Like, you don't got to remind people I got a big ass. Why do you got to put that on the jeans? It literally said Husky. And I would be like, no shit. Well, but why you got to call me out on it? Like, I'm already my mom's giving you $10 for these damn jeans. Why you got to put a big ass Husky on the back? You ain't helping me out here. I'm growing. Look at me. Like, y'all are making me feel bad, but at the same time, the football coaches are like, no, keep feeding the boy. So like, what do y'all are giving me mixed messages in the state of Texas. Like, you got coaches coming like, keep feeding that boy. And then you got gene makers like, fat ass. Like, well, what the hell? My mom's sitting there going like, well, but bless her heart, my mom and my granny would rip that Husky thing off of my jeans. But it's still, everybody knew they were Husky. See, that didn't mean anything once I got to be about 12 or 13 and started playing football. Once I got to football age, then everything. But when you're 9 or 10, you just get picked on.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I remembered the people. Like, I remembered them. They weren't on the football team, but I do remember them in the school hallway about 4 years later. We'll just leave it at that. Not my proudest moments in life, but, what I would tell parents of any kids out there who just, like, got the perfect skinny kid, like, tell them to be nice to them, because, you never know what those fat kids are going to grow into. And they're going to have to be in the same high school hallways with those kids 4 years later. I'm not proud of this, but believe me, a lot of it was retribution for shit that happened to me when I was 8 or 9. Anyway, let's cut that part. I'll cut that part out. I'll mute that out. I don't want anybody bullying anybody.
All right, park in the back.
Well, I'm gonna let's see what it does right now. All I'll say on that is bullied kids can sometimes end up being bullies, and I'm not proud of that.
They could suck it.
Yeah, well, all sides of it. Just don't bully at all. Is it gonna park? Why would it could park right there? But you want it taken around to the back anyway.
Yep.
Okay, so let me do this. I am going to, is it gonna park? It's actually gonna try to park. Is it gonna be good enough? Is it gonna get in that line? Get in that line, baby girl. Come on, get in that line. It did it. Look at her. She got in that line, baby. What? Did I just make you? Here, I'm gonna take it back to the. It's in the line.
It is right on the line.
It's in the line. All right, let's try to let me see if I can summon this thing all the way over to the back.
Will it summon if I'm sitting here?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
You gonna walk over there?
Here, hold on a second. Let me just. No, I'm good. We're gonna both go.
Oh, okay.
We're like both us.
So now open the back door.
Watch this, baby.
Is it on ice? Was that why I was like?
No, it's trying to figure out. It's backing out and okay. Should be able to go around. Let's see what it does here. And it should drop us off right. Don't go through the drive-through. There you go. Come on. There you go. You're going the right way. Don't go through the drive-through. We'll be going the wrong way through the drive-through. All right. And it's going to take us all the way to the back of the restaurant boba shop. Look at her. Look at this.
Yeah, I'm right in front of Postnet.
You hear you may back it up a little bit?
If you can.
Yeah, I'll back. Let's do that. Let's see if we can. Sorry, I took my thumb. I had to take my thumb off.
Oh, that's so funny. Thank you for the ride.
You're welcome, baby. I'll help you get the stuff on. All right, everybody. Back in the Tesla. Just dropped my wife off at the family restaurant after going to the Asian food market wholesale place and getting some stuff with her and then bringing it over here and dropping it off. About to head back to the house. Let's go. All right. Let's see what we do here. There we go. We are actually behind the restaurant right now. We got finished shuttling in everything that we bought at the wholesale place. And we're coming back to the actual parking lot in front of the restaurant. We'll just see how it does. Yeah, it did not have anything mapped on that area of the parking lot. It's not even on Google Maps. So very cool that it was able to get its way out of there with vision. And once we get on the road, we'll talk about the FSD drives that I just did with my wife, what went well, and then where I needed to intervene. But let's, okay, we're about to take a right here on Aerobic in front of the Jiffy Lube and Atascocita High School. There we go. Lane's gonna merge here. No cars behind us, so we're good to go. All right, so yeah, took my wife from our home in Porter, and we went all the way across North Houston, from the northeast side of the greater Houston area, all the way over to, I would say we were pretty much at the northwestern, like right, kind of, I don't know, in the middle, probably like north central, like before you go from due north to northwest. So not quite all the way to Cypress, but not far away from it. So kind of right in the middle, right there in the northwest quadrant of the Houston area. So yeah, we drove all the way over there. That drive went really well. I think, I talked to my wife throughout the trip about a lot of things, but we brought up FSD quite a lot too, and you could tell she was extremely comfortable. Don't get me wrong, she'll call things out, sometimes to a point where I'm like, really? Like, it seems like you're even trying to be harsher on it than what it really is. But, she was there with me when I was doing the earlier versions of FSD, so she still got a little bit of, a taste in her about, what it was like back then when it was really jerky and just was not fun for a passenger a lot of times on version 11. So, yeah, but yeah, it went really well. I did have 2 non-critical interventions, and both of them were in the parking lot of the Asian food market. So if y'all saw, when we pulled into the parking lot of the Asian food market, it came in behind the market, which is fine. That's the quickest, most efficient way to get there. And it was going to go back behind, it went behind the market, and it was going to come around. The problem is, on one side of the market, they had the fence closed so that you could not have any through traffic. Guess they didn't want any delivery trucks going in and out of there at that point in time. So they had that fence closed, so you couldn't do it. The good news is it stopped for the fence, but it did not try to, reverse out and correct itself. It just stopped. And I gave it some time. I asked my wife, are you okay with me? Let me give it 10 to 15 seconds before I intervene and correct us. And she was okay with it. And it just didn't do it. It would not reverse out. So I got it stuck, but it would not unstick itself. And I don't know if that's because it was a fence, so it wasn't a gate. It wasn't a door, some big gate that it's a fence. It was a makeshift fence. So I don't know if FSD was thinking it was going to open, like one of those gates that when you are fence lines, that when you drive up to it, if you drive close enough to it, it automatically opens. So maybe it was waiting on that. But it was never going to do it. It was a chain fence. So, it had a lock on it. So it was not going to open. And I don't know if there's some sort of thing that it needs to be trained on, where when you come up to a fence or a gate that doesn't open at a certain amount of time, you just need to reverse out and go another direction. And so it didn't. And as soon as I intervened and reversed us into going the opposite direction, it was fine. It found a way over to the other side and to the front of the Asian food market, dropped us off there, and then I manually set a pin, and it was able to park us in the parking lot. But again, I'll say there, it parked us in a handicapped parking spot. So I can tell there as well that it is not, differentiating. It's just trying to get you out of the way. On this, let's just be blunt. On this version of FSD, I am on 13.2.2. I do not think it is leaning towards trying to park you in a parking lot. I think it is leaning towards getting you into the parking lot of your preferred destination. It gets you there. But on this version, it is just not trying to park you. Unless it's just real easy, like at convenience stores. I will tell you, the place where I am getting parked 100% of the time, almost 100% of the time, is like small convenience stores where there's really no choice but to park you. That's the only way to get you the hell out of the way is to put you in a parking spot. But at a big grocery store, it's just going to try to go to the front of the store, get out of the way as much as it can, and then it's just dropping you off. And then it's up to you to go park. That's what I'm noticing. So that's what happened pretty much at the Asian food market. But yeah, when it got itself stuck, right lane closed. Okay, let me pay attention here as we're going through some road construction. So we got some utility work to the right. We do good with that. Got some workers, do good with them. Excellent. Okay, got through that. So yeah, it both getting to, once we got into the parking lot of the Asian food market, it got stuck at that fence and would not reverse itself and go a different route. Similarly, when we were leaving the Asian food market, it went back that same route. So the memory wasn't that great. It did not have oh, wait a second. Remember when we came in here? That was locked. Did not have that memory of that. So it went back the same way. And just so y'all know, the way that it was trying to go, where it was fenced off, is clearly, it is definitely the quickest, most efficient way to get out of there to the Beltway. That's why I was selecting it. Honestly, that may be why the owners there had that gate locked, because maybe other people were taking a shortcut through there. So, yep. So I had to intervene twice in the same spot. How many drives do you have where you have two interventions, non-critical interventions, and it's the exact same spot back to back? Yeah. But other than that, I mean, it was in the parking lot, so it got us parking lot to parking lot. So we're good to, so yeah, my two interventions were essentially in the parking lots. So, but I'm still going to call those interventions nonetheless, because you can't just park right there, still have to go manually park. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting one. Most people are basically saying that on this version of FSD, they're not calling it interventions, as once you are in the parking lot of your destination, you're generally having to go manually park anyway. So they're not calling those interventions at this point. But I'm going to go ahead and call those non-critical interventions. Number one, because it doesn't matter. Because that's the kind of thing that teleoperation could handle. That might be the easiest. So I don't try to I got zero intervention. No, if I have a couple of non-critical interventions, especially those that could be easily taken care of by teleoperation, I want to call those out, right? So those were two situations that a teleoperator, you don't even have to have latency on that, because there's no other cars around you. It's just need somebody to reverse me out. I kind of was hoping, though, that because FSD 13.2.2 has the ability to reverse on its own, that it would have recognized that and tried to get out of that, because it's got the ability to. And there's obviously enough room to do it, because I did it, but it didn't do it. Wow, that was a quick light. All right, it's yellow as we're going through, but man, that was a quick light. Interesting. It basically turned red right over our roof, which we're good with that in the state of Texas, as long as it's yellow. As long as it's still yellow while your back tires are on the line, you're good. So yeah, that's the only thing that kind of doesn't bum me out, but it would have been really, really neat, is that it didn't try to reverse out and find another way. It got stuck. I got Tesla FSD 13.2.2 stuck. So that would have been really cool if it would have unstuck itself. But it did not do that. Yeah, it'd been, I'm interested, like, if that had been a wall, right? Or a big, solid gate that's clearly not going anywhere versus a see-through fence. You know, I don't know. Like, was it thinking that this thing is going to open for me? I don't know. So that'll be interesting. Get some people's thoughts on that. Because I've seen videos of other people with version 13. Version 13.2. Where they were trying to get the Tesla stuck. And they couldn't get it stuck. Like it was, they would get it into a dead end. And it would reverse out of the dead end. Well, I was at a dead end. The only difference for me is my dead end was a fence and not a wall or a bunch of cars. You know, that it's clear those things aren't going anywhere. That's the only thing I can think of, is maybe it just wasn't clear to the software that it clearly stopped. I mean, it did not try to go through the fence. So it definitely picked up that there was an object in front of it. But it did not try to reverse itself and go the other direction away from the object. So I'm just kind of befuddled of what's different about my scenario, where I got it stuck and it couldn't get out of it, versus everyone else's scenario where they could not get it stuck. I don't know. I don't know. And both times we did it twice. So it clearly could not get itself unstuck from that situation 2 times back to back. But that's the kind of information that Tesla AI needs. They need more information like that than they know. I mean, the folks that are getting it, that can't get it stuck, that's great to know, but Tesla AI already knows that. That's why they shipped it out that way. But the places where it gets stuck and it can't unstick itself, that's the sort of stuff Tesla AI needs. And believe me, they will get it fixed. If you could see the amount of progress that those boys and girls have made over there in Palo Alto and Austin, Texas, in the 2 years that I've had FSD, going all the way back to, God, what was the earliest version of V11? Anyway, it was right before 11.4. Something right before 11.3 or something. Anyway, if you go all the way back, I was never on version 10, so I don't go that far back. So I know that there's some folks have told me that they thought there was a particular version of version 10 that they thought was even better than version 11. So that was interesting. Was it 10.6.9 or 10.6? There was some version of 10 that they were just like, oh my God, this thing's going to work. But then it just kind of started going downhill again after that, I guess. Then they came out with version 11, which is that, like, when I got on FSD was basically when they switched over to V11. Like, I was on one of the earlier versions of V11. So I never enjoyed version 10, which is my understanding is version 10 is basically the first. I could be wrong about that, but I think that was the first. There was probably something before that, because I know FSD, as we know it, has been around for about 4 years. I've been on it for 2, so I've basically been on it for about half of its life. But there's some OGs that I want to say they may have been on something even before version 10. That'll be something to grok. See, now if we had grok in the car, I could just grok it. I could say, hey, grok, what was the first version of FSD? And it would tell me. But we don't have that yet. And Siri sucks. Like, I could do that. I don't even want to do it right now. Siri will screw everything up in my car. But you can't. It's just, you can't do it. I'll tell you what was funny, though, too, is I think I hit a nerve with my wife on the whole safety score thing. I was just joking around with that. Like, I wasn't trying to call. I was like, babe, that's everything. Like, you're a great driver. Like, I went to sleep. Like, I slept through, I would say, the entirety of, like, she took over in Little Rock, Arkansas. And I slept all the way to some place in southern Kentucky. I can't remember, Elizabethtown or something like that. But she drove that all the way through half of Arkansas. And any of y'all that have driven through Arkansas, that's a long drive. Like going through Arkansas, like going from Texas to Kentucky, that direction that you're going on, I think that's I-20. But going through Arkansas, that is a long drive. So she did half of that, half of the state of Arkansas, all of Tennessee. And we can tell you, that's a lot. That's Memphis to Nashville, on up into Kentucky. And I want to say that was like Paducah, Kentucky. Maybe it was Paducah where I woke up. We stopped, got a charge. I used a little boy's room, got a little bit of food, and then I took back over. But she gave me a good 4 or 5 hours of just good, hard sleep. And I did that. I told her, I was like, babe, I'm going to need to get some sleep. So that last time we charged, pretty sure that was Little Rock. I just went ahead and took it all the way up to 100. I was like, let me get this thing to 100, babe, because I need to get some sleep. Do you mind taking over and just do whatever you want to do? But we've either got to pull over and let me sleep for 30, just give me 30 minutes to an hour to conk out, and then and she was like, no, I'll drive. I feel good. So I was like, well, if you're going to do that, let me go ahead and charge this thing all the way up to 100 so that you don't have to worry about, charging for a while. And that 100% charge, I want to say that got us damn near to Kentucky. I want to say, yeah. I think I had to check that again. I mean, we may have stopped like right outside. I think we got all the way through there. But it was somewhere in southern Kentucky that we had to change, and we were pretty low. But anyway, I say all that to say that I felt good. I was like, let me get this thing to 100% charge. I wouldn't normally do that if I were driving, but since you're going to drive and I want to just go to sleep, I knew I needed some sleep. I had been driving for a while, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 or 4 in the morning. It was like, I need some sleep. So let me get this thing all the way up as far as it'll go, so that I could just conk out and have non-anxiety sleep. You know that sleep I'm talking about, where you're just not worried about a damn thing. And that's what I did. But when I woke up in Kentucky, I had a safety score like 77 or 70. I was like, holy crap! I was at 100, and you took me down to 77, 78. But I don't mind that. Like, okay, so my premium went from whatever it was, 140, 145, all the way up to like 275, 285 or something. So like, she cost me about $120 on my premium for a couple of months. Like, I got it worked out, like basically within about 40, because you got to get all that day that she drove that many miles, because that's a lot of miles. So pretty much you're just going to have to let that entire block go out, because she covered like, 300 to 400 miles. But I slept the whole way, so I had to be comfortable. But, as a human driver, you're like, and she's, she can be pretty aggressive. She's an aggressive driver. But I didn't mean to get in her crawl on that. I think I hit a little, I hit a nerve on that one. Like, I was like, should I have brought this up? Maybe not. But I only meant to say, like, hey, let's just go with Tesla insurance first when we get your new Model Y. And then if it's like, holy crap, you're at like 50 every month, and that's costing us more. So I just don't think it will, because I'm telling you right now, I need to go check like what our monthly premium is just for her. Like, let me be blunt. I've got like 5 vehicles. It's because I've paid for pretty much all vehicles for my kids. Don't get me wrong, I'm not bitching about that. I just, like, I'm a dad. I want to provide for my kids. Granted, one of them, I've got one of my 4 kids that has gotten their own vehicle. Like, they are soup to nut. Like, my oldest, my oldest completely takes care of himself now. So good to go. But I won't lie. I still pay for everything on vehicle stuff other than gas for my other 3 children. My son that's in the Marine Corps, my daughter, and my youngest son in college. So I've paid for their vehicles, and I pay for their car insurance. But yeah, that's just for now. They're still in their early 20s, so let them get a few more years. Especially he's a Marine, so I'm like, he's like defending the country. I think the least I can do is pay for his insurance, right? And then my daughter, just at a certain point, she'll find her way, to make enough, but I can help out with that. She's not living under my roof, so there you go. She's taking care of that. All right, we're pulling up to and then my youngest son's in college, so I'm paying for, so he's still completely on my payroll. So, all right, let's see how we do here. And this angle is just, it's just not going to be able to do it. Now, what I may do, let's just try it. It's going to stop right here. Let's try actual smart summon. Might as well, right? So let's go to, not that. Let's go to summon. All right, make sure. Now let's try and see if it can get there. It's just hemmed itself in between it. When it dropped us off, it hemmed itself in between my niece's car and my wife's car. So it needs to kind of reverse right now in order to do this. I'm just going to keep at this just to see if it can figure itself out. And it's trying to. You can see. I don't know why it's not going into reverse though. It's got room to reverse a little bit. We may just need to give up on this. It's not going to try to do it. Yeah, this just angle is too tough. All right. Yeah, it's just not going to do it. All right. Well, I am going to go ahead and let's see here. Pull that back up. Let me do that. It's in reverse. So let's see. There was room. Now there's my niece's car. Now, granted, you got to be careful. Well, you know what? I take that back. There wasn't that much room to reverse. All right. For some reason, I was thinking there was a lot of room to reverse, and there was not. It literally wedged itself in between. Let me make sure I stay away from, God, everybody, don't get me wrong. I love my family to death and I love having them under my roof, but man, I'm going to find an off-site parking spot for them so that I can use FSD in my own damn driveway. I'm obviously joking right now. They are much more important to me than being able to park in my driveway with FSD. I'll say that. Let me get that up. All right, everybody. Well, it had some good FSD drives, no interventions, parking lot to parking lot. We did have 2 non-critical interventions in the exact same spot in the parking lot in order to get to the front of the store. And again, it's just there's still some stuff to do with FSD. So it clearly got itself stuck and could not get itself unstuck. but that was in the parking lot with kind of an interesting fence gate there. But all things being equal, I mean, that was a lot of driving today with my wife, and it did great. It did absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, those two little things are, I mean, that's literally at the side of the store in the parking lot. So, I mean, talk about the easiest kind of fix or teleoperation even that you could have. That's it right there. So, all right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. I will get it downloaded and uploaded. I may try to do a few timestamps. Don't get me wrong. I mean, let's just be blunt. Most of that was just me jaw-jacking with my wife. So I hope, you know, some of y'all, I know y'all enjoy seeing my wife or seeing my brother-in-law or seeing my niece and nephews and stuff in the car with me. And I try to keep it as natural as possible. That's just us jaw-jacking. That's me talking to my wife. So yeah, I mean, I'll try to put some timestamps if there's like 5, you know, but for the most part, that was just me riding along with my wife and just having a beautiful FSD drive where I'm able to focus more on her than I do on my driving because I'm not driving. So anyway, yeah, I will get this downloaded and uploaded, and I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your Saturday and a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I love all of y'all, and I will see y'all in the funny papers later. That was, I don't know. I mean, most of y'all probably, y'all have heard that. See you in the funny papers. See y'all in the funny papers. Bye-bye.